I'm back with more things that my friends on the other side want you to understand about death and dying and how things really work. This has been a multi-part series, so make sure you go and watch the handful of videos that came before this as well. Now, I do have one of my friends over here who passed quite a while back. He loves to come in and guide, and he's a really strong communicator from the other side, and he likes to teach people, and he said because it helps you guys become less afraid. Now, he is saying, I want you guys to understand that when you die, you continue on, which we've talked about a lot before. There really is no death in the end. There's just sort of like a changing of forms. It feels like walking from one room of the house into the next, like you're kind of taking off a heavy coat at the end of the day. But essentially, what happens is that people here on earth have this big fear of death, and he wants us to understand that the reason that we have this fear of death is because we have lost a lot of us have been losing our higher senses with it, which allow us to connect to our ancestral lineage, to our loved ones, to spirit, to the source that gives us all life. And because of that, we remain more materialistic, like we're more focused on our physical selves, and we don't really believe in things that we can't see with our eyes or touch with our hands. But what's beginning to happen is people are having more and more heightened senses and are seeing more and more of the light spectrum, and they're beginning to sense and feel things that other people, not everyone is sensing and feeling. They're beginning to see auras and see energy, and therefore they can see spirit, because spirit is still in an energetic form. They're just not in a physical form like we are. So they don't hold matter together the same way that we do. And so this can be really interesting for us, because as this begins to happen, we will lose essentially our fear of death as a collective. And so one of the things he's saying is, I want them to understand that this is part of why there are so many mediums and psychics and so many people using larger platforms. And there have been so many books coming out over the years, way before TikTok existed, way before YouTube existed. There have always been mediums in different cultures and lineages in different ways, shapes, and forms. And this is for a good reason. And it's because it's supposed to help us reconnect to kind of our innate power source. When our loved ones and guides are coming through, it's always with love, and it's always to help us understand and use the human experience better. And so essentially, in order to do that, to really live the full lives that we were here to live, we have to let go of our fear. And one of our biggest fears, death and dying, or rather the not knowing of what happens when we die. And when people are terrified of dying all the time, they don't live their lives fully, because they want to minimize any risk as much as possible. Now, it's not like we want to walk headfirst into situations that we know are going to